Hey everybody, Corey Noel, the veteran trainer here. And today, as promised, I'm going to be providing you with a video and information on unboxing, assembly, and installation of the jammer arms by BeFit Canada now on my Mr. Monster. All right, I hope there's some information here that is going to be helpful for you if you're on the fence whether or not this is a piece of equipment that you would like to add to your home gym. Okay. There will be some follow-on content, which is going to be based around exercises. I also added in a couple of the little things that I like to do for improving when I buy a piece of equipment. So that's in here as well. And just little simple things that will make life easier for you when you're using your jammer arms on your Mr. Monster. Okay? So with that, enjoy the video and I'll see you at the finish line. Cheers. Just finished unboxing. And as you can see here, these are all the components that arrived from BeFitNow Canada. All right, and I want to throw a shout out to BeFit now for sending me the jammer arms. They're not paying me for doing this. We have an arrangement that they will provide me with some equipment if I make some content, because what they're starting to notice is that customers are letting them know that through watching my videos, they've been it's helped them to decide that that is the product for them. So as a show of appreciation, they said, hey, could you film some more content? We'll send you some equipment. I was like, of course. I got no problem with that at all. Unboxing. Didn't want to go through that with you. You've seen one thing unboxed, you've seen a million things unboxed. What I believe is that this was probably in their demo room. The only reason I am led to believe that is because after unboxing it, it was all in original packaging, it looked like, repackaged in its original packaging, but I didn't have the manual, the instructional manual or the assembly manual in the box. And again, not a big deal because I've already actually gone through everything off camera and assembled it off camera just to clarify how to assemble it and all that jazz. First thing I want to note is that there's not a lot of bolting. The only thing that will require to be bolted is your plate loaded arms, and they're just going to bolt on either arm, and it's same standard as the rest of their hardware on the Mr. Monster. 3/4 inch socket and ratchet is all you're going to need to simply bolt these onto your swing arms. Okay. Before I get into the installation, I'll talk about some of the things that I improved. All right. I wouldn't be the veteran trainer if I didn't find some things that I felt needed to be improved. All right, or not so much improved, just make life a little easier and more comfortable for me to use it. So we had 2 sets of pins that came in, and this is for helping it to be secured to the cage. All right, so they came with these slip pins as well to go onto your pin. Okay, and as rugged as they are, the only problem is that they're very difficult to take off your pin. So as I was going through assembly, I was like, you know what, this is probably going to irritate some people and they're going to get very frustrated with these. I went out to the garage and I just happened to have 4 of these, all right? And they fit perfectly on the pins, okay, on your locking pins. And these, in my opinion, are going to make life a lot easier, all right? As great and rugged as these are, the issue is that you're not leaving this thing mounted to your cage all the time if you're like myself and you use your cables, your adjustable cables a lot for various different exercises. Okay, and I'll kind of elaborate on that point after. All right, so take a pin, head down to your local hardware store, find yourself something similar to this or whatever, and that is going to make life a lot easier for you, mounting this thing on your cage and when you're removing it from your cage. All right. So that was improvement number 1. Improvement number 2. Back to the pin, and it's a plastic handle here, but inside here is a metal threaded sleeve that is inside the plastic handle, okay? And it's threaded onto the pin. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. So a couple of them were loose. You know what I mean? I used some red Loctite. I put it on the threads, threaded it on, let it sit for an hour or so. Now they're rock solid, okay? Because they were just coming loose as I was mounting it to the cage. I just noticed that they were coming loose quite easily, okay? So, improvement number 2, added a little bit of red Loctite. Improvement number 3. Again, these are not deal breaker improvements. These are just things for Corey Noel, you know, and as I use this equipment. So these are the handles, all right? And as you can see, I've already got hockey tape on there. Reason for that, one, you all know I like hockey tape because I like the grip that it provides, all right? But these handles, there was no knurling, okay? It's purely just a chrome plated piece of steel bar, all right? And it just, I don't know, unless there's knurling on it, it just doesn't feel right. You know, there's not a good feel. There's not a locked on feel to it or grip. All right, so I just simply added hockey tape, and I added hockey tape to almost the whole thing just to give me various different positions to hold this thing as I'm using them throughout my workouts, okay? I think that was it for improvements. Short list, okay? Short list. Next, when it comes to assembly, like I said, the plate loaded bars are the only thing you're going to actually bolt onto this kit, all right? But what you need to be aware of is that there is a slight angle on these as you mount them. So when you mount them, I would suggest you put the bars on the cage first. That way you can identify the slight angle in this so that when you load your plates, it's not in the wrong position, okay? Granted, the angle is not great enough to hold your plates on there. You're still gonna need your bar clips, okay? So, but anyway, just another thing to be aware of. Okay, so with that, I think we'll get into assembly. Let's do it. All right, so quickly before I get into it, I'll just identify the components too. All right, I'm not sure if you can see these on the floor yet. Okay, but we've got our 2 swing arms that go on the left and right side of the cage. All right, we've got our 2 handles, and there's 3 positions that you can mount them on your swing arms. We've got our 2 plate loaded bars that bolt on to the swing arms. We've got 4 pins, locking pins, okay? And they're very specific because there's two lengths, all right? 2 are for mounting it to the cage, and 2 are for mounting this, I guess you want to call it like a rigid link bar or whatever. Again, I apologize, I don't have the manual, so I can't give you the actual name of the stuff. But this mounts on, and you'll need the longer pins for mounting this from arm to arm, okay? And then you also have a double click or a double link or double connect bar that also mounts to it as well. Beauty of this thing is if you want to use this, you don't necessarily need your jam arms, okay? This will connect to both your cable attachments, all right? So you can use it in that fashion as well. And there was also a couple of chains. These were originally attached to the double connect bar, and I believe that might just be for providing some range of motion as you're using that, all right? Plus it's really gonna stimulate your stabilizer muscles whenever you're using these chains on the bars for those specific movements that you're going through, okay? And that's it for the kit list, all right? So with that, let's get this thing mounted. All right, so first bar I'm gonna pick up, first arm, only one of them has a label on it, okay? So this being the front, this being the inside of the cage, the bar, the swing bar, is going to be on the inside of the cage, all right? You've got a mounting mechanism here, which is similar to your J-cups and your safety bars. There's the 1-inch pin here that it's going to slide onto your uprights, okay? And that's mounting it to the cage itself. And then your locking pin will go through here, all right? So, okay, here we go. So like I said, you got your 1-inch pin, simply line it up, slide it on. they've got these wicked awesome rubber bumpers, all right? So it's not beating up the bottom of your uprights there as you're placing this back into the, when you're finished position or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so mount it on, and then it's just simply placing your locking pin in, and then with your new and improved pins, that is installation right there, okay? We're gonna repeat that on the other side. All right. Okay, second bar is in place. Okay, so as soon as I mounted these, I realized right away that the kick plates for doing the seated rows is in the way of this section of the swing arm here, okay? Immediately I was like, well, there's one way to fix that. Take my J-cups. There we go. And if you can see here, this is where I was telling you, these nice big rubber bumpers. So now, instead of hitting the kick plate, this is now going to be hitting my J-cup. So that was an instant improvement there for that, just to be saving the life of this. Okay, so the next part of the installation, I'm just going to be securing this cross member in place. So if you can see from the image, there's 3 holes on either side, and that's just providing you with 3 different positions to mount the bar. Okay? We take our 2 remaining locking pins, and pick the position that you want to use. Easy peasy. There's 1. There's 2. So as I was trialing this before shooting the video, I realized it's going to be a lot easier to put this on when there's no weight loaded on the bars. Okay? So remove the weight if you have plates on, and then put this thing in place. All right? So that's the rigid bar, and this is simply simulating the use of your barbell. All right? For whatever exercises you're going to perform. All right, so now your double click bar, your double link bar, double connect bar, whatever you want to call it. If you can notice, there's a hole here, and there's another one on the other side. And this is where this, with your snap links, there you go. All right, now that's connected, and then again, for whatever various exercises you're going to be using that for. The chains, I probably won't bother with for now until I find an exercise that they actually benefit. All right? So for the handles, there's a little slip pin here. You can see this. There's a little slip pin here. All right? And at first I wasn't sure if there was some sort of installation required here. And then I realized, again, I don't have the manual, but I'm going on speculation here. So these are the positions in where they mount on the jammer arms themselves, okay? And if you're noticing, as I'm taking them off, I'm pushing up on that little slip pin there. So I believe that this just sits in a position to stop it from sliding off when you're going through your exercises and your movements. All right, so it just takes a little to push, slide it in, let it go, and it's preventing that from sliding out. Okay. Inside here, if you can see from the camera, there's these little pins as well, right below where you're going to mount your handles. And if you can see from that angle, basically that's for also preventing it from going back and forth. All right, so it's blocking it in a position as best as it can without physically bolting this to the bars. All right, and you don't want them permanently fixed on there either, because of when you're doing, say, leg exercises with this thing. You don't want these in the way. All right, okay, so again, 3 different positions, little slip pin to prevent them from coming off. All right, okay, so last part of the installation is our plate loaded bars. Okay, again, there's only one spot to bolt these onto the jammer arms themselves, and again, the angle to it is very subtle. Like, it's that subtle. Okay, so a bolt with a washer on one side. Okay, and then you've got another washer with the nylon nut. Washer and nylon nut in the second one. And then, like I said before, your 2 3/4 inch sockets and ratchets. Lock on. There we go. All right. So I'll repeat that for the second side. There we go. All right, and then I'll place my locking bar, or sorry, my rigid bar here. And there is clearance for the bolts there, so you don't have to worry about that. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. That is the BeFitNow Canada jammer arms assembled and installed on your Mr. Monster functional trainer, okay? The whole process, half an hour, all right? Nothing to it, okay? If you have any troubles or you have concerns or questions, leave a comment down below. I'm hoping that the information provided here today is going to help you make a decision whether or not this is a piece of equipment you believe that you may want to add to your home gym. Okay, I'm going to have some follow-up videos with regards to this. One being the many different exercises that you can accomplish, and another one being, and which is going to be probably my favorite use for this, and it's going to be attaching my leg press plate. Okay, I'll get into the details when I shoot the video. But yeah, I've already been brainstorming on ideas about that and how to make it work in my favor, because I'm very excited about using this as a seated leg press attachment. All right. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, and I love all the comments, I love all the support, and I just appreciate BeFitNow Canada for sending the jammer arms out to me. Shout out to them. And Corey Noel, the Bet Your Trainer. I'll see you next time. Cheers. Out. Stop recording.